On tonight's show, we've got the latest on the first ever 48-hour film festival held by UCM, a cafe in Warrensburg with historic value, and an inspiring story on overcoming the odds with a UCM student.
You won't want to miss this episode of UMag.
Hello everybody and welcome to UMag, the source you trust. As always, we're a show by the students of the University of Central Missouri in Warrensburg. I'm Hernandez Johnson.
And I'm Katie Bailey. Thanks for joining us. We'll begin tonight with our campus feed segment to see what's been going on around UCM so far this semester.
The 48-Hour Film Festival was UCM's first student-created film festival. Filmmakers had only 48 hours to write, shoot, and edit a short film. UCM's Filmmakers and Actors Coalition is a group who put the festival together. This group did everything from choosing the theme to deciding when the event would be held, and some members even entered the festival themselves. So what else does the Filmmakers and Actors Coalition do?
It's a student group started a couple years ago, really designed to get students working and connecting with other people that want to make films, other people that want to watch films. So we do film screenings, people will present films and then talk about them, show their favorite films and things like that. So it's kind of whatever the students want to do with it.
The theme of the film festival was fairy tales. Stories such as The Little Mermaid, Hansel and Gretel, and The Three Little Pigs were given to the filmmakers to remake in a creative way. The filmmakers also had to use a certain prop and phrase in their film.
Prop that everyone had to use was the cape. The phrase that everyone had to use was, "Please don't touch that."
The films that were entered had to be between 2 and 6 minutes long and include the correct phrase and prop. But the judges of the films were looking for more than just those things.
Oh, you know, we're kind of just looking overall production values and things like that. It's not, it's you know, the various elements that make a good film, and you know, it's kind of broken down into a sound design and editing and cinematography. In this case, with the 48-hour film festival, where there's a line and a prop, so that's one of the fun characteristics, how they're using that prop, how they incorporate it into the story.
There were also awards given out to the winners. Awards like Best Makeup, Best Writing, and Best Film were a few. Andy Weber, whose film was The Little Mermaid, won Best Director, among other awards.
I didn't expect to win it at all, so it's really great because this is my first film that I've ever directed, so to win is just really it's great.
I'm Natalie DiTilio for UMag, the source you trust.
We're here tonight in the Elliott Student Union, where some of UCM's most talented performers are ready to take the stage. During Unity Week at UCM, Spotlight wanted to get involved in the activities.
We thought that one of the best ways we could do this was putting together a showcase of the talent that there is on campus.
The talent show was open to anyone and any act. There was just one rule to follow.
You get 15 minutes to do whatever you want, and once you get up there, the stage is yours.
Set them free at the break of dawn.
I absolutely love singing. I did choir in high school. I'm currently taking vocal lessons on campus. I'm performing with my friend Zachary, and he's doing one song on his own. I'm doing one song on my own, 99 Red Balloons. I love that song. And then 2 duet pieces.
Kind of started with this fun, peppy feel, and then moved into kind of a little bit more of a downward feel. So just Take Me to Church kind of lingered in those darker tones.
Take me to church, I'll worship like a dog in the shrine.
Those dark tones were quickly livened up with Colin Bell's comedy act.
Nobody wants to live in Alaska. There's only 2 people that live there, an Inuit and Sarah Palin.
I had some jokes that I already written, and then I had some jokes that I was kind of knocking around that I wanted to use. A lot of the times, the way that I pick jokes is like by what kind of place I'm in or what kind of atmosphere. Like, for example, this is Unity Week, so I talked about equal rights marriage and stuff like that.
So an old man building a giant boat filled with different animals around the world is more believable than 2 people being in love with each other and want to spend the rest of their lives together.
I've always enjoyed singing, but then I guess with the guitar, it kind of made me more passionate and more emotional when I sing.
The song Ed Sheeran, I Was Just Thinking Out Loud, kind of just brought all my emotions in it.
Whether you were in the show or just watching, the show did a great job of unifying the campus.
It is kind of just that special way of reaching out to the individual. It's also great to have during Unity Week because it is bringing different people of different talents together and showcasing and celebrating everything that people are.
This is Ronandis Johnson reporting for UMag, the source you trust.
Hi, I'm Natalie DiTilio, and I'm here at the 6th Annual Girls Night Out, which is a fundraiser for the Warrensburg Adult Abuse Center. It's a night full of food, drinks, auctions, and entertainment.
The event is our only annual fundraiser and the only one that we do each year to raise funds for Survival House.
Then it's about getting the community together to talk about these issues and raise money and have fun at the same time.
The money that we raise from this helps us maintain our shelter. It also allows us to continue education in domestic violence and sexual assault.
Like October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We'll be on campus talking about domestic and sexual violence and how people can help victims. We'll be out in the community. Anybody that will let us talk to them about those issues.
And the community has responded with overwhelming support, with the event getting bigger and bigger year after year.
It kind of becomes more and more successful every year. You know, they're enjoying the themes, so hopefully it'll continue to grow.
This is the 6th year we've done it. The first 2 years we did it at Players Restaurant here in town. The first couple we raised just a couple grand, and now over the last 3 or 4 years it's gone over 20 each time. So we're hoping this year it gets up to 30.
And that's giving a lot of thanks to the people of Warrensburg, Johnson County, the business community, all the people that support us.
The proceeds go to survival. They go to help the women and children. They go to help the shelter. It depends where we need it.
While the money goes to a noble and serious cause, the staff doesn't want people to forget to have fun.
Just a fun night for people to get out and give back to the community. We just want to make one fun night where they can just come out and help us out.
I like seeing how a whole community gets together and socialize.
Just all the smiling faces, and everybody wants to give back and help the communities.
For more information, visit facebook.com/survival.house. For University Magazine, I'm Natalie DiTilio.
While walking on campus when there's icy conditions, be very aware of the icy sidewalks. The groundspeople try their hardest to keep all the sidewalks salted and keep them clear, but sometimes the conditions are just so bad that the ice just keeps coming down. So be very careful when you're walking on campus. Just know that the sidewalk may look clear, but it may be covered in ice. So just always be careful where you're walking. Be aware that it could be icy conditions. And just take your time and be safe.
Missouri weather is always changing. One day it's beautiful, and then the next you're trying to avoid black ice.
Exactly. So unpredictable. And also what's unpredictable is this week's UCM Presents segments. We always try to showcase students with unique talents and stories. This week, he's a duck calling enthusiast, and she is an aspiring painter. Let's check them out.
Hunting, fishing, and duck and goose calling have always been a huge part of UCM student Hunter Lewis's life.
My dad introduced me to hunting at a very young age. I was probably 3 or 4 when I went out for the first time with him.
After several years of bird hunting and competing in duck and goose calling competitions around the nation, Hunter recently decided to craft duck calls of his very own.
Building your own calls, it's very unique in that every call that I make, I feel part of. Being able to say, hey, I built that call that fooled these ducks or geese, and You know, it's really not even about shooting the ducks and geese, it's just being outdoors and spending time outside.
Of course, with the permission from his roommates, Hunter decided to build his own workshop in the basement of their home.
There was some wood down there already, and I basically just built a setup, and I bought a lathe and all the saws that I needed, all the tools I needed to make the calls.
Hunter learned the art of call building with the direction of his high school woodshop teacher and many hours of research of his own.
Once I get all set up and everything, I have the blanks, which are usually about 1 inch to 1.5 inches square. I cut them to length, and then I drill them out for the barrel, and then I put it on the lathe, which is a 5/8 mandrel. I turn the barrel down to the size I want. You can always take material off the call, but you can't put it back on. So you really got to take your time in determining how far to go down. I do it in a set process. Basically, I'll turn my calls or my barrel and my insert out, and then once I do that, then I'll sand them both. I polish it after I sand. There's a lot more to it than most people would think. I mean, it takes a lot of time to make each call.
Hunter has built a handful of calls for his friends and family and various hunting organizations around the state. He continues to build calls in his basement and hopes to one day grow his business into the consumer market. I'm Heidi Tooley reporting for UMag, the source you trust.
Nina Gann is an art major at UCM, and because of recent events, she had to learn to paint in a new way.
I was cleaning the storm windows on my house, and one of them came loose. The window fell off and shattered on my head, and basically I had a little cut on my cheek.
The cut was no larger than 1 inch long on Nina's cheek, but she felt that there was a bigger problem at risk, so she rushed to the hospital to find some answers.
I went to the hospital, and through a long process of they wouldn't give me x-rays or anything. And I was acting really cool at first, like, oh, it's fine, it's no big deal, it's just a cut, I'll sit here for a little longer. And then it started to get really, really painful. And I was like, I feel like there's something wrong.
The small cut on her cheek was actually a 3-inch shard of glass pressing into her eye. She was told she'd be wearing an eye patch for years.
When the swelling went down, but my eyes stayed swollen shut, and I was still numb, that I was like, oh wait, this is probably a lot worse than I think it is.
After Nina had eye surgery, she also lost her ability of depth perception, allowing her to only see objects two-dimensionally.
It took me about 5 months to adjust to not having depth perception to the point where I could get around.
Nina, along with 2 close friends, made an Indiegogo video that helped raise money for the loan she had taken out for her eye surgery. In exchange, Nina would paint beautiful portraits or pictures for the donors.
It got up to 10,000 within about 2 days. All of a sudden I was just like, oh my God, I have to do so many paintings and drawings. I pretty much lived on this floor for about 6 months, just drawing and painting and sending out.
She raised enough money to pay for her eye surgery and is now out of the eye patch for good. For UMag, I'm Katie Bailey.
Oh, hey, Natalie, what's going on? Just checking out UMag on Twitter, #awesome. Oh, right, #KMOS, #ChooseRed, #TheSourceYouTrust.
Hey, gals, what are we talking about?
#UMag, #duh.
#palm to forehead, #walk of shame.
To find the source you trust, follow us at UCM_UMag and tweet us sometime.
Nina is now able to get back into the swing of things and pursuing her passion to its fullest.
Starlin Nance, Assistant Professor of Education and Social Studies Director, assists with a demonstration of Teach Live, which creates a virtual classroom environment to help prepare students who are entering the education field. The technology uses avatars that actually interact with the teacher similar to real students. In the virtual setting, the student training to be a teacher stands in front of a large projection screen, which displays students' avatars sitting at their desks. Incorporating technologies such as voice recognition, video, and an Xbox Connect, the teacher can actually move around the classroom as needed to manage students.
Reza Aslan Internationally acclaimed author and scholar of religions was the keynote speaker for this year's Politics and Social Justice Week. Bringing together a world divided was the theme for the week of presentations by speakers on a wide range of topics related to social justice. Aslan is the author of a variety of books on religion and society. His first book is the international bestseller, No God But God, The Origins, Evolution, and Future of Islam, which has been translated into 17 languages and was named one of the 100 most important books of the last decade.
Beth Rutt was named the 30th recipient of the James C. Kirkpatrick Excellence in Governance Award by the University of Central Missouri Student Government Association in a ceremony on March 26th. Rutt received the award in recognition of her longtime commitment to UCM and her role in public education and governance in the surrounding community. She has served as a UCM adjunct instructor in recreation, leadership, program design, and group dynamics for 34 years. She also serves as an advisor to the UCM Government Association and Spotlight, the student programming board.
The UCM Athletic Training Student Quiz Bowl team defeated 13 other education programs to win the district team title during the 3-day Mid-America Athletic Trainers Association's annual meeting and clinical symposium in Omaha. Participants were required to exhibit a knowledge in a variety of areas, including heat-related illness, therapeutic rehabilitation, disease pathology, and more.
Now it's time to check in with UMag's Shelby Bilbrook as we follow her around campus with this week's Did You Know segment.
I'm Shelby Bilbrook reporting for UMag, the source you trust, and I'm here at Yater with your Did You Know Fact of the Week.
Did you know that the women's and men's residence halls were designated to opposite ends of the campus? The first women's hall was Gator on the west side of campus, and the first men's hall, Deemer, was built later on the east side. Each residence hall was built after those in the 1950s and 60s for men and women would be designated on different sides of the campus. Rules in the halls were strict, and men could only meet the women at the front desk to go out or visit them on the first floor lounge. Now Deemer, which holds up to 136 students, is co-ed, and Yater has been split into 2 living halls. South Yater, which accommodates up to 382 people, is now co-ed, and Yater is still all-female with 139 students.
And that was your Did You Know Fact of the Week. I'm Shelby Bilbrook, reporting for UMag.
Thanks a lot, Shelby. Next, UMag's Natalie DiTilio caught up with the Study Abroad Student Association in this week's Get Involved segment.
SASA, also known as the Study Abroad Student Association, recently had a meeting at Fitters to talk about the student organization and discuss their adventures studying abroad. This group's main goal is to educate students to go abroad and learn about international education and how it can help students with their undergraduate degree.
With your major, you can not only learn experience in the United States, but you can learn experience outside of the United States in many different countries. You can study abroad in over 60 different countries, and it's really affordable. You can actually pay the same price you pay at UCM while you're abroad. So it's really great, and it's a great way for students to kind of boost their resume and learn about a different culture for a semester, or even 2.
However, you can join SASA without having to go abroad.
You don't have to study abroad. We just want to promote culture and just different values within UCM, because we have over 2,000 international students here. So it doesn't matter if you study abroad or not. We just want to see the diversity on this campus, and if you want to learn about new cultures, it's just something fun to do.
So while many may see studying abroad as still going to class but just doing it in a different country, Dana Marinin says there's a big difference.
You know, it's not jumping in your car every day and just going to school or walking to classes real quick. You get to take a tram and have your favorite cappuccino at your favorite cafe, or get a croissant on the way to class, or, you know, meet somebody and live with somebody from maybe, you know, China or South Korea or even Latin America. It's just something cool to say you've never done before.
Caitlin Becker studied film and photography at Unitec campus in New Zealand. She says studying abroad helped her learn not only about her major and minor, but about herself as well.
There is no better experience than studying abroad. It widens your horizons, it grows you as a person emotionally, culturally. There's no, I feel bad saying this, but there really isn't enough words to describe how much studying abroad can change your life and just make you a better person.
I'm Natalie DeTilio for UMag, the source you trust.
Now, let's go to Shane Suter to see a main stage performance going on in our performing arts segment.
On March 4th through the 7th in the Highlander Theater, UCM's Department of Theater and Dance presented Under Milkwood, directed by John Wilson.
Under Milkwood is a play written by Dylan Thomas. He was an extremely famous Welsh poet who ultimately had an untimely death, and he died, I think, when he was 39.
Big seas of their dreams.
He never got to see his play produced. He did readings of it, and it was ultimately produced in 1953 as a radio play.
Who brings coconuts and shawls and parrots to my
It's a 24-hour period in the life of this fictional fishing village.
So dark, only you can see in the chapel.
We've got an omniscient first voice narrator who brings us into Lagarab, which is a little Welsh fishing village, and it's a fictional place, but very similar to Swansea, which is where Dylan Thomas grew up. So we start like middle of the night, and for about the first, I don't know, third of the play, we're watching all these different characters have their dreams. We're getting to see what they're dreaming about.
Soon it will be time to get up.
And then sunrise happens, and we actually start to meet some of the characters. And then it will go another, 16 to 18 hours or so, and end back kind of where we left off, with everyone going back to bed, and it's nighttime again.
This little piggy went.
The thing that makes this play so unique is there are over 60 characters, and we've only got 10 actors that are playing these roles. It becomes a real investigation for these actors to come up with different physicalities, different voices, different mannerisms and behaviors. From an acting standpoint, it's a great challenge, a lot of fun.
Does anyone want to fight?
This is Shane Suter reporting for UMag, the source you trust.
This week on Local Buzz, Paul Joyner sets out to a historic little cafe in Warrensburg.
Right across the street from the courthouse, where Old Drum forever stands at attention, the coffee house named in his honor might have the weary-eyed saying that coffee, too, is man's best friend.
I decided I wanted to open a coffee shop because I was a high school teacher and I was just kind of looking for something new, and just throwing around ideas of a coffee house and a bakery. Warrensburg seemed like a good environment for one. Some opportunities became available all at the same time, so I just decided to go for it.
Old Drum Coffee House and Bakery offers a community a variety of caffeinated drinks, but also made-from-scratch baked goods.
On a daily basis, we sell coffee, tea, other non-caffeinated drinks like Italian sodas, smoothies, things like that.
We bake a lot of things, and all of it's from scratch. We have, your general breakfast baked goods, so like cinnamon rolls, muffins. And then we have a bunch of different kinds of cookies, and the cookies are really good. For the bakery, it's really the morning, come and grab something before you go to work kind of idea. We're not really focused on a lunch menu or a full menu.
The coffee house also hosts a monthly open mic night, providing a wide variety of local talent to perform and be heard.
We have open mic night once a month. It's usually the second Thursday of the month. And on those nights, we open up later in the night and we stay open till 11.
And it really just gives local artists an opportunity to showcase their talent. So we see poets, musicians,
guitars, ukuleles, singing. Being a small business owner in Warrensburg is actually really fun, especially being this kind of business. I really like seeing the groups that come gather here and people that come and meet up there. I feel like I'm very supported in the Warrensburg community.
For University Magazine, I'm Paul Joyner.
The University of Central Missouri has had an incredible year in sports and now brings home 2 more national championships from women's track and field and wrestler Frank Cagnina.
These great student athletes join a very elite group of teams who have actually won a team national championship.
It honestly speaks once again to the quality of our student athletes and the quality of our students.
John Marr,
Hey Heidi,
what are you doing?
I heard UMag has a Facebook page. I'm looking for it.
Not literally your face in a book. It's called social media, the internet.
Oh, right.
Stay connected to the source you trust. Go to facebook.com/UCM_UMag and give us a like. And that's all the time we have for you tonight. Be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter for a more in-depth look on our student producers and web exclusives. I'm Renandis Johnson.
And I'm Katie Bailey. Thanks for tuning in to the source you trust. From all of us at KMOS TV, good night.